Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommies Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome! Today's episode is number 381, 6 Ways to Simplify Your Summer, because summer really should be a lot more carefree than the rest of our crazy year. As another school year comes to a close, I find myself feeling both excited that our very scheduled part of the calendar is about to end, and yet a bit anxious that we now have about 10 weeks of summer vacation time ahead of us, and the kids are home with a wide-open agenda. As any parent knows, this can be a dangerous combination. One of my favorite parts of summer is that feeling of freedom that comes with not being on the rigid schedule we maintain during the school year. However, even with less commitments, it seems many families still struggle with trying to balance work and play, as well as enjoying a less complicated lifestyle. A simple life has a different meaning and a different value for every person. But for me, it means paring down my usual to-do list, finding more quiet time on a daily basis to convene with my private thoughts, and basically searching out as much peace as I can find. If you'd like to have a less harried lifestyle, Mighty Mommy shares 6 great ways to simplify your summer. Tip number 1. Prioritize what means the most. The best place to begin streamlining your life for a simpler one is to prioritize the few things that really matter and put aside everything else. Make a list of your top 3 important things. What's most important to you? What do you value most? What 3 things do you most want your family to enjoy most this summer? In our family, the top 3 things were eating more meals together, decluttering the stuff that we accumulate throughout the school year, and finding more time to connect outdoors or doing things that don't require being plugged in. Simplifying starts with these priorities as you're trying to make room in your life so that you have more time for these things. Tip number 2. Develop a wellness attitude. Summer is a time to get your wellness act together. It starts with you, the parent. If you prioritize exercising on a regular basis, enjoying spending time outdoors, preparing and eating nutritious and vitamin-rich foods, you're not only filling up your own tank with precious fuel, you're setting a positive example for your kids and family members. Now that school's not in session, it affords my family a little more time working on our physical and mental good health. Instead of rushing out the door to work and school, we can take the dogs on longer walks first thing in the morning and enjoy lingering around the breakfast table rather than hurrying out the door with a bagel in one hand and our backpacks and briefcase in the other. The simplicity of slowing down, even if it's just for part of the day, is tremendously freeing and uplifting. Tip number 3. Spend time, not money. One way to simplify your life this summer and beyond is to make more of a conscious effort to spend time with your family and not just spend money buying them more things. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy treating my kids to a great pair of headphones or the latest music that they've been wanting to download from iTunes. But the older they get and more of them leave for college or expressed interest in wanting to hang out with their friends rather than do things at home, the more I realize how quickly they're growing and how much I want to spend as much time as I can, or that they'll allow, with them while I do have them at home. Not only that, if given the chance, kids really are happy to play with what's around them. Kids need lots more time outside, I think, as well as unstructured playtime to help make them discover things on their own. This summer, we've agreed to make the conscious effort to enjoy the things we already have access to in our home and in our bedrooms and around the yard, and take advantage of events going on in the community, rather than spend money just because we might be bored. As a family, we sat down and we pre-calculated that we easily waste over $1,000 on silly or meaningless purchases during the summer months. So, we're going to use that money on a weekend getaway at the end of the summer in the White Mountains for all of us to enjoy before the new school year begins instead. And tip number 4, slow down and savor your food. This suggestion may sound silly, but please hear me out. As I mentioned earlier, one of our most important goals as a family was to eat more meals together this summer. During the school year, we're lucky if we can all be together for a couple of meals a week due to everyone's hectic sports, school and work commitments and schedules. Even then, most nights, it feels like we rush to gobble down an entire meal in less than 10 minutes so that we can get started on homework or get a kid to band or soccer practice on time. The summer months, however, are less scheduled, so that frees us up tremendously to gather around the dinner table at least 4 or 5 times each week. I enjoy cooking meals for my gang much more when I know that they're going to be able to sit and actually taste the food instead of inhaling it so they won't be late for their next commitment. If you eat slowly and savor the food that you've just prepared, you'll gain a better appreciation for how simply delicious meals can actually taste, as well as enjoy the company of your loved ones. Tip number 5, purge. There's an expression, purging is good for the soul, that really hits home with me when we talk about leading a more back-to-basics, simpler life. To me, simplifying means eliminating anything that is a drain on your time, energy, and soul, while giving nothing back in the way of enjoyment, contentment, or peace. Whether you're single, living in a 1-bedroom apartment, or you have a house full of kids in a 4-bedroom home, over time, you're going to accumulate stuff. For some, it's closets chock full of clothing and shoes. Maybe it's craft and hobby supplies. And with babies and kids, the paraphernalia and toys multiply almost overnight. It's just part of the territory. My QDT colleague, Get It Done guy, Steve Robbins, recently shared a 2-part podcast on how the popular Marie Kondo's book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, has changed his life. As a mother of 8 kids, I have been purging and decluttering our home for over 25 years, but Kondo's book, I believe, is spot on and the most easy to follow when it comes to giving your home and your lifestyle the purge that it deserves. Most of the life-changing magic of tidying up is spent walking you through all the excuses you'll find to keep things that don't bring you joy and showing you why you should get rid of them anyway. She starts with the easy stuff like getting rid of old clothes, and then works her way up to how to get rid of mementos and nostalgic possessions. We learned from Marie that we shouldn't clean by room. Rather, we should clean by category, and we start by discarding everything that doesn't bring us joy. So how do you decide what to discard? I'll bet you think it's some rule that you've heard before, like, if you haven't touched it in the last year, toss it. Nope. Marie's criteria, like everything else about her, is unusual. Touch every object, every one. Pick it up. Thank it for bringing you something into your life. Be grateful. Then ask, does this bring me joy? If the answer is no, let it go. Use this idea as your guide when deciding what things, if any, should be purged. It helps to remember that simplification, like frugality, is a tool as well as a goal. The ultimate aim is not to just make your life simple. The goal is to make your life balanced, happy, and fulfilled. And tip number 6, practice solitude. As much as I love having our family all together in one place, I also like to encourage alone time for them and myself. Alone time doesn't have to be intimidating if you practice getting used to the quiet and either relaxing with your own thoughts, reading a good book, or simply listening to your inner voice and reflecting on the blessings in your life. It's so rare for people to have quiet time these days because of the harried pace most of us keep day in and day out. If you want to interject an easy twist on adding a good dose of simple to your life, get your family into the habit of taking just 10 to 15 minutes a day to be by themselves in solitude. Young kids can sit and hug their favorite stuffed animal on the couch beside you as you close your eyes and visualize your perfect summer afternoon. Or sit in your backyard with a glass of iced tea and listen to the birds singing in the trees. Use these short snippets of time to let your mind unwind and disengage from the craziness of life. You can instantly recharge your batteries, and the more you and your family practice having quiet time, you might start to crave it and find ways to sneak more of it into your busy days, no matter what time of year it is. What have you done to simplify your family's lifestyle? Share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy, or post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page, and you can also email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. Wishing you clean, simple pleasures this summer. Thanks for listening, and until next time, happy parenting.